I've been a 911 dispatcher for 12 years. You think you've heard everything after that long? The drunks, the screams, the panicked voices after car crashes. It all becomes background noise. Until one night, at exactly 2:47 a.m., a call came through on my screen. No number, no location, just a line that shouldn't exist. What I didn't know then was that this call had already happened before, and that answering it was a mistake. I was 14 years old when it happened. It was the beginning of summer. School was over and my parents worked long hours. I was home alone most days except for our dog. We lived in a quiet village, retired neighbors, friendly faces, the kind of place where nothing bad ever happens. That morning, someone knocked on the front door. I wasn't allowed to open it when my parents weren't home. So I watched from the window. It was an older man, wearing gloves, holding a tarp. I didn't recognize him at first. Later, I took my dog for a walk. When I came back, something felt wrong. The house was too quiet. Then I felt cold air on my arm. One of the windows was wide open, a window we never opened. Ever. As I closed it, I saw a reflection in the glass. A tall man, inside my house, walking toward my parents' bedroom. My dog suddenly ran upstairs. I followed. That's when I heard footsteps, heavy, coming toward the stairs. I hid in the closet, holding my breath. No phone. No way to call for help. I heard him go downstairs. That was my chance. I ran, grabbed my phone, bolted through the kitchen. He chased me. I jumped the garden fence, turned around. He was laughing. That's when I recognized his face. He was my neighbor. Later, the police told us the truth. That morning, he had murdered his wife. He used his spare key to enter our house, to hide the body. He admitted that if he had caught me, he would have killed me too. He's in prison now. I still don't trust neighbors. Wow, that was so scary. The first time I saw him, I thought it was my husband. He was standing outside, smiling, staring at me through the glass. Something about the smile felt wrong. When I went outside, my husband was somewhere else entirely. The second time was worse. I saw him again, this time as a shadow, leaning into our truck, rummaging through groceries. I spoke to him. He didn't answer. Then he disappeared, and my husband walked around the corner. Both sightings happened outside. That's the only thing that comforts me. Whatever it is, I don't think it can come inside. I don't believe in the paranormal. I never have. That's why this still bothers me. For months, I felt watched in my bedroom, always from the same spot. I blamed paranoia. I blamed drugs, anything logical. Then came the knocking. One knock. At exactly 3 in the morning. No one was there. A month later, 2 knocks. Same time, same sound. The third time was violent. 3 heavy blows, like someone trying to break the door down. My cat heard it too. He was terrified. I opened the door. Nothing. After that, it stopped. The presence disappeared. I still don't have an explanation. But I know one thing. I wasn't alone. I have never expected that I was a child when I first saw him. A tall man, wearing a black suit, a long coat, a top hat. He walked through our hallway at night, without making a sound. Our floor creaked, always, but not for him. I saw him for years. One day, my brother saw him too. He pointed and said, "Did you see that man?" We moved away. I never saw him again. I still don't know who he was, or what he wanted. Some stories don't have explanations. Some questions don't get answers. If you're still listening, thank you for staying until the end. If you want more true stories like these, subscribe. And remember, some calls were never meant to be answered. I've been a 911 dispatcher for 12 years, the last 7 on the graveyard shift. You think you've heard it all after that long? The drunks, the domestics, the panicked fumbling for words after car crashes. It all becomes a kind of white noise, a rhythm of human misery you learn to navigate without letting it touch you. You have to. It's the only way to stay sane. My district is a quiet county, the kind of place that dies after 10 p.m., mostly retirees and families. The worst calls are usually noise complaints or drunk teenagers. I was burned out, deeply tired in a way sleep doesn't fix. The first call came on a Tuesday night, 2:47 a.m., the deadest hour of the deadest night. The line lit up on my screen, but not in the usual way. It wasn't a cell phone, it wasn't a landline. There was no number, no location, just a raw signal. I answered anyway. At first there was only static, a thick, wet sound, like the radio was underwater. Then a whisper came through. "Hello? Can you hear me?" It was a child, a little boy. His voice was shaking. "He's back," the boy whispered. "The man in the mask is back." I asked for an address. I asked where he was. The system couldn't trace the call. No data. Nothing. "The old house," the boy said, "at the end of the road." Then the line went dead. We sent officers anyway. There was only one house that matched the description. An abandoned place at the edge of the woods. Boarded up, dust everywhere. No signs of life. The officers cleared the call. They said no one had lived there for decades. A week later, at 2:47 a.m., the same line rang again. Same static. Same boy. "He's inside the house," he whispered. "I can hear him walking." This time I heard something else. Faint screaming. A woman. Again, the line went dead. Again, officers found nothing. The calls kept coming. Every Tuesday. Always at 2:47 a.m. Each time, the boy sounded worse, more scared, more desperate. "He's hurting Mommy." "He's looking for me." "He's coming upstairs." I stopped sleeping. I started digging. Old newspapers. Cold case files. In 1975, a family was murdered in that house. The parents. The daughter. The son was never found. He was 8 years old. When I brought this to my supervisor, he went quiet. Then, he told me the truth. The dispatcher who had my seat before me received the same calls. The same boy. The same house. One night, he answered the call. Stood up. Left the building. He was never seen again. I was ordered never to answer that line. Last Tuesday at 2:47 a.m., it rang anyway. I answered. The boy was screaming. "He's got me," he cried. "Please don't let him take me." I reached for the button to hang up. And then the boy went silent. A man's voice replaced him. Older. Terrified. "He sees you," the man whispered. "He's looking at you through the line." I never went back to that console.